Hi, my name's Dawn Sprangle, and thank you for taking the time to watch my video on the LRC open house. A little bit about me. Here is my information about my teaching and education. I'm going to ask you to pause this video if you want to read about this, because I know some of these students also double up with my English class and I go over it there. So if you would like to, go ahead and pause. Our philosophy in LRC is that students can and should reach all of our learning targets. In order to have them be able to achieve that goal, we want them to be able to use various resources that are taught within our LRC. Our learning target then is so the student can, be successful in school through developing my skills related to independence, advocacy, executive functioning, and personal responsibility. We are starting a 4-year journey to where we are starting to talk about what is the plan for after high school. And so students need to focus on what is that going to look like, and then what behaviors do we have to strengthen to get them there, whether that is entering the career field, college, military. They all need to work on these skills the next 4 years while they're here at DGN. So my goal is to teach the students how to learn. So we are going to focus on skill development, organization, time management, learning strategies, study skills, test-taking strategies, self-advocacy, transition goals, and that gradual release of responsibility. Students are therefore encouraged to ask questions, advocate for themselves, use the strategies being taught for success, reflect on their choices, and in the end, become a little more independent each day, each month, and over the period of this year. This is a screenshot of the lesson plan from the week of the 14th to the 18th. Learning targets are always going to be posted as well. Mondays is basically our check-in, and I ask students to complete an Organization Monday check-in where they're going to go through and they're going to set up their planner, they're going to check their email, they're going to make sure that their remote learning space is ready for the week. Fridays is when we look at grades. So students go in, they use a template, and they should be emailing you every week an update of their grades. I go in and I input at this time a list of missing assignments. The expectation is that then the weekend's going to be used to make up those missing assignments to help bring up any grades that are at risk of being low. At that time. My goal is that all students are going to pass this semester, but it is going to take some individual effort to make sure that work is getting completed. And if there are missing assignments, those are getting focused on. On the second remote class, we focus on a skill building activity that's going to help them be a better student. So this week in particular, we did email etiquette, how to reach out to teachers, and they were provided about 15 templates for a variety of scenarios as to how and why you would email a teacher, and they could actually just copy and paste that for their purpose. There at times might be some independent work. I used an Ed puzzle to show them how to access either their Learning Ally account or the audiobooks through the school library. And as always, I put missing work as an independent work if they have missing assignments for LRC. Remote learning norms, I'm sure you are hearing about these in many of the classes, so I will just be brief and you could pause this if you want to look at it more closely. But we're asking students to be respectful, to follow the school rules. Would love to see them on camera, but I also understand that they may need that Zoom break in LRC. So as long as they're engaging with the material and getting their stuff complete, I will allow them to do that. Mute themselves, being prepared, all of those that just help us be able to work effectively while we're in this remote setting. Important links and documents for student resources, Google Classroom, not only for my class, but for all classes right now. Each class should have a presence on Google Classroom. The syllabus is posted as well. There will be a copy of it in Home Access Center, but it's also on Google Classroom too. And then Home Access Center is your way of being able to check the grade book. Grading policies. Learning Resource Center is a pass-fail course. It is also a quarter credit versus the standard half credit for each semester. So by the end of the year, they'll earn a half credit. In order for the student to earn the credit, they need to complete the skill building activities. So I do ask that they make them up in order to receive credit on those. And for many of those activities, they are linked to their IEP goals of especially the education, the employment, and the independent living of the transition. They could be linked to an executive functioning goal, and for their accommodations of needing to have that check-in, showing their understanding, needing to have, one-on-one lessons on how to build those skills. Students also need to be present to earn those points as well. This is a copy of my revision log. It is the same revision log in the English class as well, but it's my one-stop shop to be able to collect all the work that is late. So students would go in, they would go into the Google form, submit their missing work, tell me what the assignment is, and then they are either giving me the direct URL to that assignment or a screenshot. You could tell right now that I am filming this on a Friday because I'm going in right after this to start grading these. And as long as the student has uploaded to the correct link, they can go ahead and then I will go ahead and grade it. And their grade will then be changed in the grade book for that item. This is a quote that I hold near and dear to my heart, that when I think about LRC, is accountability is achieved when someone understands the impact of his or her actions, takes responsibility for choices, and then works to repair the harm done. For some students, homework is new. For some, they're learning that they're having to keep up with their assignments more independently, and that they're having to spend more time outside of what their middle school resource looked like to get these things done. So right now, especially at the beginning of the year, they're learning how to do that time management and to go back and make up those missing things. But we are talking, one-on-one about, okay, you have these missing assignments. What is the action plan? If they're not liking their grades, like, all right, then what do you have to change? What is your responsibility? And especially with the fact that many teachers accept late work, they have the opportunity to repair that harm. So no one's grade is currently set in stone. And if they have certain expectations, certain goals that they want to achieve, it is still so early in the game that they can go ahead and turn things around if needed. Supporting your student at home, I'm asking you to guide them. Don't do it for them. Again, in 4 years, they are going to be going on to whatever that next phase is, and they are going to have to gradually get independent more and more. So remind them to charge their Chromebook. Have a student about homework. They should be using some sort of planner, whether it's the DGN written one or they are using a digital version that I shared with them. They should also be having homework. There is time built into LRC for homework, especially in remote periods, remote class 2 and 3. But that's after they complete the skill building lesson. So it's not a full period dedicated to that. And if they end up having some needing testing accommodations, those take priority over homework as well. Weekly, just please check the grades in Home Access Center. You can also set up your preferences to send you an alert email if a grade drops below a certain score, and you get to decide what that score is. For communication, I do ask that if you have a question or concern, allow the students to contact the teacher, but if you feel like you need to step in, start with the content area teacher, that course teacher. CC the case manager so that they're aware. And I would also say, please CC me if it is a work related issue so that I could follow up with a specific assignment for that student. And again, like when ready, teach students to email the teacher, and you can even guide them to those templates that I mentioned earlier here. Just to kind of close up, These are my two sons. Callan is on the left. He's in fourth grade this year. Jericho is on the right. He's my older one. And both of my kids also have special needs. I have been blessed to take my work home with me in the cutest way possible. They both have been diagnosed with ADHD and autism, and Callan also has the added addition of anxiety. And I think in some ways they have helped me become a more empathetic and better special ed teacher. Because at the end of the day, I want to help them as much in order for them to be successful, just like I know you want your students to be successful, to know that one day they're going to be able to be independent and um, contribute to society. And that's our goal at the end. So I say that because for many of you, I feel like we have maybe not walked in the same shoes, but we've worn similar styles of shoes. I understand what it's like to go through early intervention, to sit through neuropsychs and diagnostic testing, and even have to schlep kids to those therapies so that they will hopefully be as successful and independent as they can be. So I'm here helping, empowering my kids on the side, just like I know you are. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the work that you do at home, because it does take both of us to help our kids be the most successful versions as they can be. If you have questions, the best way to reach me is at my email address, which is my first initial last name, dsprengel@csd99.org. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to being able to talk with you in person at Parent Teacher Conference in October. Have a great day.